This is a video about how to stop coronavirus spreading in the UK, well, in the UK at least. The population of the UK is roughly 60 million people, and the government sources are talking about 20% of people contracting this disease. If that's the case, that would be 12 million people. If 3% of those 12 million die from the disease, which the current trends seem to point to, we'd be looking at 360,000 deaths. So what do? Do we carry on? Do we just accept there's going to be 360,000 people dying from this disease? We live on an island for a start, so one way of stopping the spread of the disease, you could say, is to close the borders. The incubation for the period for the disease seems to be over a few days, and the quarantine period for the disease seems to be over a 2-week period. Everyone's saying that if you quarantine yourself self-quarantine for a 2-week period, you're fine. The problem is, if no fucker else does it, you could catch it when you come out of quarantine, so that won't work either. So my solution to it is, we either carry on as we are and accept that we're going to get 360,000 deaths potentially from this disease until they find either a cure or a vaccine, which may be a year down the line. In that time you would still have 360,000 deaths potentially. Or you say, right, okay, if you need to quarantine yourself for 14 days, why don't everybody quarantine themselves for 14 days and just leave the essential services, i.e. hospitals, the police, the fire brigade, all the emergency services in place, and every fucker go home for a fortnight, make sure you've got everything stocked up. All right, it would have a financial impact on a lot of businesses. So fucking what? For 2 weeks, it wouldn't be a problem. We'll bounce back. You don't bounce back from 360,000 deaths. So, and that's basically, it could carry on from that as well. What I'm saying is, if we can actually stop it and stop the spread of it in the UK at least, these deaths are totally avoidable. Everybody has 2, 3, 4, even 6 weeks holiday a year and don't think anything about it. Part of the problem of this virus spreading is people fucking off skiing, going to Italy skiing where they know the virus is. Oh, we've booked the holiday, we've got to go. It's not a holiday anyway, it's skiing. We must go skiing for some fucking stupid reason. Then fucking off to Tenerife and giving it people in Tenerife. So, one thing, don't fucking go skiing because you're likely to catch the disease. And 2, you selfish bastard, you're going to bring it back and give it other people. So my idea is to say, okay, let's have a 2-week shutdown of the country. Everyone go home, sort your garden out, look after your family, make sure your family are okay, make sure you've got plenty of food in, make sure you've got plenty to watch on Netflix or whatever you want to do in the house for 2 weeks. It's not a fucking big deal. It's a big deal if we don't do it. So, to me, that would be the solution. It would save 360,000 deaths. The problem there then is, what do you do after that? It's an international problem. We then have to hope that the effects of the disease will dissipate over time, over the spring months, i.e. as SARS did, and hopefully the effects of the disease will slow down and the infections will slow down, and eventually it will become eradicated. It won't become eradicated if we do fuck all. It certainly won't become eradicated if people fuck off skiing and keep bringing it back. It's simple. It's not fucking rocket science. It's simple. It's basically you're not going to catch it if you don't go to places where it is. And if you go to places where it is, you're going to bring it back and you're going to give it other people. Even if you haven't got it, you can carry it. So effectively, I think that's what would resolve the issue. I think the government are too spineless to fucking say anything because they're too worried about the economy. The effects on the economy would be very, very short term. The effects on the economy if we don't do anything could be fucking massive. They're talking about a fifth of the population, or the working population, being off sick, which would have a massive effect on the economy and a downturn on the economy. What we have to do is recognise that we need to nip the problem in the bud before it gets out of hand. It's an exponential problem. If we nip it in the bud now and take the pain of the effects on the economy for everyone standing down for 2 weeks, then the long-term effects, we won't feel the long-term effects. I don't see why it would be an issue. You know, I'm in the construction industry, and the construction industry always used to close down for Christmas, and it always used to close down for Easter. Things still got fucking built. It's just now we live in this 24/7 society. We've got a global economy that we can't, we can't go for a shit without ordering toilet paper from fucking Taiwan. Everything has to be ordered from all around the world through Amazon, and we worried about this global economy, and we're worried about something that is a relatively new phenomenon. It's not, 40 years ago we went to the corner shop. We didn't have supermarkets. We didn't have what we have now. What I'm saying is that for a minute we just stop, take stock, and let this all die down. If we don't, fucked, basically. Anyway, that's my opinion, and I'm just a chippy.